Yeah, welcome to the meeting today. My name is Thomas Hoerauf. I'm from the AUVESY GmbH here in Germany. It's my pleasure to introduce to you today versiondog in combination with Schneider Electric's EcoStruxure and also the PLC checker who will then control the logic of the PLC code which I'm going to change. It will be in the first step a PowerPoint overview to give you just an overview and positioning. But in the second part, we will have everything live. So I will go into a versiondog system. I will change with EcoStruxure PLC code and also check it with the PLC checker. And then we can see how the compare works, how the code is controlled, that we do everything in line with all the rules which we defined, as well as we will have a look on the reports which we have from versiondog side as well as from PLC checker side. On my side as well is Karoline Beske from Itris and Schneider Electric. Karoline, if you would like to introduce yourself, please unmute your microphone.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. So I'm Karoline Beske from Itris Automation. Itris Automation will very soon merge to Schneider Electric. We've been acquired in 2019, and I'm in charge. I'm kind of like the commercial interface between AUVESY and Schneider, in charge for the sale of the control engineering tools.
Great. Yeah, please mute your microphones and we will keep at the end time for question and answers, but please feel free to write them directly into the chat room so our colleagues can already have a look at them and prepare the answer for it. Great. Yeah, let me introduce AUVESY versiondog first of all. We are 13 years on the market. AUVESY is the short form for Automated Versioning System. This is what we do. We are, as of today, 95 employees, and that is already 3 times larger than the next competitor. So I would say we are a clear market leader on this market for change management and automatic backup. We have done so far over 1,300 installation on production sites, on production plants, and we are active in over 40 countries. In 3 countries, we have our own office, and the rest of all countries in the world are there are partners and distributors available who sell the product, who offer it, and also do offer training and support and all what is necessary. To give you a rough number, what we do per day here, we measured it and calculated. So around the globe, every day, we do backup over 5 million devices. So a device is typically a PLC, it can be a robot, an industrial computer, a field device, whatever it is. So the rough number is over 5 million devices per day. As the headline covered the automotive customers, I just wanted to give you here an overview. versiondog is quite strong in automotive. There are some simple reasons for it. Automotive customer has a lot of devices, of course, a high level of network, a lot of changes per day. And therefore, it's necessary to have versiondog at least to survive, to get everything controlled, to see what the supplier changed, what the contractor changed, as well as to get all devices cyber secure protected. You can install everything Kaspersky on computer, but not on a PLC or a robot. So therefore, it's also versiondog available. And quite often the motivation are the contractors and suppliers who do change as well. But sometimes it's also the own maintenance people who miss to do a version and forget it and go home. And then it's nice to get an alarm to see, oh, something is changed but not versioned, or if it's changed and versioned, then you see what changed. So you always get an overview who changed what, when, where, and why. And we are installed at Audi, at BMW, at Volkswagen, at every plant worldwide, at Conti, got at Bosch, the worldwide standard for change management. So we are, I would say, the standard in the automotive branch for change management. We are not only focused on automotive, just as additional information to you. There's also pharmaceutical, there is food, there is beverage, there is water, energy. So all other kinds of industries are, of course, as well covered. But again, today the highlight was the automotive, and we will also talk about some special functions later about that. Good. Here you see the global presence. We have the headquarters here in Europe, and We opened last year our office in the States so that we can cover the whole North and South America part. And we will open now, with a little bit delay due to Corona, in China, the next office, so that we have covered all major time zones where we can then support our partners locally and customers, so that you can also, 24/7 can call and get answers for versiondog if you have some. Let me also highlight here the IoT one. They analyzed over 2.5 million companies and look what they do related to research and development for IIoT, for Industry 4.0. And then they created out of these 2.5 million a top 500 index. And I am proud to say we are here listed on place 75, because we do spend a lot of developments for cybersecurity. We have a lot of functions for IoT on board, and that's the reason why we are here quite high ranked. Yeah, talking about IIoT, Internet of Things, yeah, you get more and more machines and devices. Digitalization, the buzzword of 2020. Of course, we follow that as well. And it's important to say that more and more devices are getting networked, so you have to protect all of them because they are reachable for cyber attacks as well. So cybersecurity is a very important point, as well as the data amount itself is increasing dramatically. So with versiondog, you can manage that. Yeah, so we have automated the production plant, and you know with versiondog who changed what, when, where, and why, at least. So versiondog is, I would say, the next logical step after automating all your production. Then it's the next step to automate also the software handling. And that is exactly what versiondog is doing. So we do backup automatically the robots, the PLCs, the cascader systems, the field devices. And when we have backed them up and copied the backup on our server, we do compare it automatically against the last stored version. So when you have a change, when you plan a change, you have a change request and have to do something, then you check out from the versiondog server your current version on your laptop. There you may have the PLC editor. Then you do your modification and check in then the new version and download the version into the PLC. And when the backup is then done from the server, it's equal to the stored version. This is the normal case. And we can see this here also on the next slice. You see here on the left side the versiondog server. That's, by the way, the only piece of software which needs to be installed and licensed, because the clients here, the versiondog clients, are free of installation. That means we do not write into Windows registry, as well as you don't need to license them. So it's quite flexible system. The server is the only thing. We want to know how many devices you want to manage. If it's only 5, then it's quite cheap. If it's 30,000, then of course it's more expensive. But the automotive customers typically get the return on investment within 1 year. So if you have a high frequency of changes, if you have lots of devices, then I would say it's easy to get a fast return on investment. How does the workflow work? Well, you first check out your version, your current version, to your client. There you can modify it, you can download and test it into the device. And then if it's running fine, maybe you have done a failure fix or an improvement. If it's okay running, then you can say, okay, I create locally a new version. And when you are back connected to the server on the network, then you can check in a new version here to the server. So this is the, I would say, the internal logical loop. Check out, change something, and check in a new version. The server now itself can be connected to the devices here and can then do regular backups, which you can schedule. So you schedule your device backup, let's say each shift end to control, or once per night, to have a backup for disaster recovery. And when the backup is on the server, it will automatically be compared with the last stored and the current version or revision, which is then there available. And if there are differences, you will get automatically an alarm from the versiondog server by email, by short message, or in the ReportClient, so that you can react and have a look. Why is it now different to the last stored version? Maybe a contractor changed something without telling you, or a cyber attack is ongoing. Your switch ports are open, which shouldn't be. Things like that will then be sent to you by mail or by short message, and you will see in detail what exactly is that different. Yeah? Therefore, we have developed what we call smart compares, and these smart compares will assist you to identify then exactly what is going on. And now we go to the next step in this classical loop, which we as AUVESY offer. We have now implemented and integrated a further possibility so that we by check-in hand over the code to the PLC checker and make a check if the logic and everything is okay. But this can be better explained by my colleague Karoline. So Karoline, if you want to spend some minutes on that loop.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, in fact, it's correct. The EcoStruxure Control Engineering Verification, which is the new name of the tool, so PLC checker, writes into the versioning process, and a script that can be installed on the versiondog server. The script then manages the code export to the tool, and the tool then performs the static analysis to verify according to a programming guideline, for example, or to verify rules that have been installed, or check for a norm that has been installed. So the advantages is that of this automated process is that you can regularly use it without even adding an extra manual process. So throughout the development of your program or the maintenance of your program, you can always verify if the changes you've made are still conform with your coding guideline. You see the evolution of your program quality while you're developing. And there are no extra actions required. I just said that it's automatic. So all this enhances your project management along the life cycle of your PLC program.
Great, and we will also show it live now in the second part, so that you can also see how it works. But just as further information, you can also find our AUVESY versiondog listed in the Schneider Electric mall there. We are listed there. You can also order it over there for small specified solutions. I already talked about the smart compares which we have available, and this is valid for all available Schneider editors for their PLC. So from the quiet past, Modsoft, I remember, was still DOS-based, which is supported by versiondog, over Concept until Unity and now EcoStruxure. So all editors are supported, independent if you have old PLCs with old editors or the newest ones. And all of them will be compared in a graphical way. It depends on the software you used and the language you used for programming it. And here you see an example for ladder logic, for example. So then you see always how was the situation before and after the change, and the changes are highlighted in red. So you always get directly information what exactly is different. In opposite to other systems which may compare binary, and there you don't know what is exactly different. With versiondog, you have exactly the information. Yeah, maybe in the backup there is not or whatever instruction is different, and then your set point or parameter, then you get exactly the information what was different between backup and version, or between any other version to the current version. And now it's the time to jump here into the live session. Let me go here into a VMware image. Here we are. Okay, good. So here you see in VMware, and I have installed their versiondog. Let me start here with the normal user client. Here you type in your username and also a password, but both can also be connected to the domain. And here is my project I am looking for, log.stu. And you see here by marking it that I have 14 versions on the versiondog server, but nothing locally so far. So it's on the server 14 available, but nothing local. So the first thing I need to do is the checkout. So we start with the left top button here, check it out. That means we copy it from the server to my local client. Good, so I checked it out. Now you see it's equal. Yeah, I have the same version as on the server. It got colored now, and that means it's now local available. And I go now after the checkout to the editor button, the second one, and hand it over now to the editor. So the client looks now where the editor is available, which one it is, and it's now handed over to the EcoStruxure editor. Good, so here it's opened. And then I can go here to the area I'm looking for. And here, for example, I can do now some modifications. Let's say here I change from true to false. Yes, false. And maybe here I do another modification. I say this one here, I want to take one blank so that it's below the other. I do compile it, and then I close and save. I don't need to write down what I did because, as I mentioned in the PowerPoints, we have the smart compares. So it's very nice to change and to try and to test until you are happy. And then when you have time, you open your versiondog client and say, okay, this project I modified. You see when you did it. Yeah, today here, over here, it's 4 o'clock, 26 minutes. So you mark it again and say, okay, now I have time to document my changes and create a new version. Let's do it. And then by clicking on the third button, we compare version 14 or the revision 14 against the modified project here in the working folder. So, and the compare process is running now through the whole PLC program, is analyzing what I modified, what I did. And when it's finished, it will pop up and show me exactly what I modified. So there is no need for manual change notes anymore. Yeah, which helps me a lot in the daily business, so that when I have a downtime, I don't need to write something beside that. I really can try out until it's running. Yeah. So, and here we see what is different. Yeah, we see here my changes I have made. I changed here from true to false, as well as you see here in line 17, I moved it here one for one sign so that it's below each other. Good. Here, to create version number 15, I can type in a change request with a number. And below here, I would, for each change, maybe there are further changes, for each detailed change, I could add here the reason why I did that. Yeah, that may be here a logical fix, so that I explain to my colleagues why I modified here from true to false, for example. Good. Then if I'm offline, I could create the version locally, but if I'm connected to the server, so I could then directly create the new version and check it into the server. Let's do that. Let's say I'm in the Office backend, have connection. And then by checking in, we created here a DOS window so that you see what happens in the background. Normally you don't see that, but just for the demo purposes, now we did that. We send now all the information to the PLC checker, and the PLC checker will have a look and analyze it, and will then let us know if we are in line with the rules or not. So this is the right moment to go out of my image and to go here into the internet and log in here to Itris, to Schneider Electric. And there we then can see further details, Karoline.
Yeah. So I will be commenting on Thomas's analysis here. So on the left-hand side, you can navigate through the projects that you've created. Here we only have one project, so we can go to the one that is there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And so here we have an overview over the program, like how many variables, things like that. And we can see what's been done. You go to applications. And so here we have our current analysis project. You get a graphic overview over the different analyses that have been done throughout the development. And now we go to the EcoStruxure webinar. Here again, we have an overview over the actual PLC program that was analyzed. So a number of variables and things like that. In the PLC checker tab, you can have different information, dashboard, but also result details, the rule set that we've used, and you can also generate a report to give to your colleagues or to an authority or a final customer, wherever you need to prove the quality of your program. So let's go to the dashboard. And here you can again see the graphic of the number of analyzed elements and the number of messages it created. But you can also see how they are clustered in terms of the rules categories. So the rules file that we have in the background contains naming rules, comment rules, but also structural rules. So for example, the indentation that Thomas did, it's a structure rule. And so here you just get some numbers and an overview over the quality. So let's go to the details. Yep. So I said it was a structure rule. So on the left-hand side, you can navigate by rules. So when you click on S17, which is that structure rule, for indentation, and you scroll down, you also see the documentation about it. So if someone works with this who doesn't know the rules file, he can get help here with the documentation for each rule. So any rule you click on, you will find this documentation. Okay, so let's type MODE in the search field, because the MODE de marche was the one that you were using. And as you can see in line 12, 23, 24, and 25, there are still indentation errors, but line 17 that Thomas corrected is no longer here. So if we would go to a former analysis, we would be able to still see the message, and now it's gone. Okay.
So it's a good example. I fixed some things, but I still missed some.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Where should I go now?
That's basically it. So you can address the messages and then alter the code accordingly. And when you use it alongside the development, you will not have as many errors as they are here, and it's easier to address everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means there are still some things open. I would read where they are here, the lines 12,
yeah.
24, 25. I go back to my application here. I start again the editor, fix these things, do the check again until all errors are gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. Great.
Yeah. So it's an automatic workflow.
Perfect. Yeah. Inside versiondog, you also get some reports, of course. So when you have all done these loops again and again until all logical errors and so on, all rules are fulfilled in the right way, errors are gone, then you can also create here your version history. So you get here then also a nice report about the change history. You see all the versions. If you document it in the right way, then you see here it's version 15. There I wrote what I did, logical fix. And for the next version, which I have to do if I'm doing what Karoline mentioned, then you will see I also fixed all other open errors that will be detailed, explained here in these details, commented and so on, so that everybody knows why I have created version 16, 17, and so on. Yeah. So here's first a full overview, and for each version you get again a detailed overview, and you could at any time again compare here between the versions and then you will get the graphical core again, which you also can print out. Yeah? So that's also possible. You could also mark a version from the past, like version 5, which was good in quality, compared against the current one. So the smart compares are that flexible that you really can do it. And for project discussions with your contractor, we have here a free compare available. There you can search what you exactly want to analyze, what you have in usage, if it's Unity or PLC 7 Pro or ModSoft or EcoStruxure or Concept. You mark the editor, and then you can, let's say, mark on the left side the USB stick with the project, which is coming along with the supplier. And here on the right side, you mark the current version which you handed out to the contractor. Yeah? Or you use our smart import for supplier projects. Yeah? There you can also add the project there and see exactly what is different and do the versioning together with the supplier if you want to. Alternatively, you hand out the whole client because it's free of license. You hand out the whole client to the contractor and he can directly work with the version of client and document the changes on his own and hand over the documented project to you. That's also possible. Good. What else? We have not seen yet here the ReportClient. So if you go there and you log in there, then you can see, if you mark on this side, for example, today, then you can see that we checked in here 2 new versions today. This was in the morning and now from our session, where we worked on, and you see we checked out here further projects. There are exclusively logged, and so one is in development for parallel work, 3 for exclusive, 1 for parallel work. And below here, if you would have backup that PLC now, then you could also see if the backup is equal to the version or if there are differences. And if there are differences, then you can see exactly what is different there, so that you can act and take care that in the PLC is only running code which is stored on the versiondog server. If a supplier changed something and you are aware of and you see, oh, the change is okay, then you could also say, let's create out of the backup a version and approve it. Then it's again equal between server and device. But if it's not okay, let's say like in a cyber attack and you got per short message an alarm at that moment, let's say a network switch shows open ports which shouldn't be, then you're alarmed, then you should act, because before the cyber attack reaches the PLC, you can already act and get control on the situation. Good. Okay, so this is that was the quite fast overview. Of course, we could show more and more features, but that would be too long for today.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity, and hope to do many integrations together.
That is what I wanted to add as well. Thank you very much for your time and your interest in both solutions. And I wish you all a nice day. Please stay healthy, take care, and hopefully see you soon. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.